guys, today we're going to be doing a chatty video, and this was inspired by Kelly Gooch here on YouTube. If you guys are not watching Kelly Gooch, I will have her channel linked down below. I've been watching her for what feels like forever. I really enjoy her content, and what we're going to be doing today is something that she started. This is a tag video, and it is trends everyone hates that I love. And I definitely have quite a few of these, because when I was watching her video, I was kind of like writing down my own list of things that I knew that I loved that other people hated. Hate is a strong word. I would say dislike maybe. I don't know. Some people are very passionate about makeup and feel like the way that they do makeup is the right way to do makeup, which is wrong. But we're going to talk about the things that I love, but I feel like a lot of people dislike. So the first thing is probably not going to come as a surprise to anybody, even though it's not really what I'm wearing today, but that is heavy blush. I love me a heavy blush look. You guys know that because sometimes I go a little bit too crazy and overboard with my blush, but I feel like it suits my face really well. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I have a bit of a plump baby face to begin with, that putting a lot of color on it just makes it look, I don't know, just fresh and fun and youthful, and I don't know, I just really like the look of it. And I also think it can look quite editorial, and you guys know I love me some editorial makeup, even if it's not like Instagram editorial, but like, you know, a bit more of a non-blended look sometimes. I really do like that. I mean, what I'm wearing today is quite editorial, and I just really think it looks cool. So I find that heavy blush just suits me. I can see why some people maybe don't like it, but personally, I think that it looks good on pretty much everybody. I think the only issue is with placement. Like, you need to get your placement right for heavy blush to look correct, but once you figure out a good way to place it on your face and your face shape, I think that everybody can pull off like a very blushy look. So the next thing on my list is actually something that is already going on my face, and that is having a bold lip with a bold eye. I really don't care to balance out the whatever is going on my face. If I want to wear a red lipstick with a green eye look that's a very green smoky eye, I'm gonna do that because I think it looks cool. And I've said so many times in the past that I don't do makeup to try to enhance what's on my face. I do makeup as a form of art, and because I really enjoy it and I like to be creative and I like to paint my face, and if people don't like that, I don't give a shit. But if I want to wear a bright lipstick with smoky eye or bright eyeshadow look or rainbow look or cut crease, I'm gonna do that, because if that is what I'm in the mood for, that's what I'm going to do. And I also sometimes feel like, this is probably gonna sound crazy, but sometimes I feel like since I have such bright hair, like if the rest of my face is kind of bright in the same saturation and tone as my hair, it almost kind of blends together and it all just looks more complete. It's really hard to explain what I'm trying to say here, but sometimes I find that my hair is so bright that I need my makeup to be kind of in your face as well for everything to look like it comes together. I could be way off here, but in my mind, like, that kind of makes sense. So the next thing on my list is something that I actually feel like I can put on a little bit more today, and that is a nose highlight. I really enjoy looking like Rudolph. I don't know if it's just me, but I really like highlighting the tip of my nose. And I quite like my nose as well. Like, even though it's kind of big, I don't even know, is it big? I don't really think I have a big nose. I think my nose just kind of suits my face. And so I don't think there's anything wrong with highlighting the tip of my nose. Maybe some people think it looks a bit sweaty, but I honestly don't care, because I just think it looks so cute. If I ever see someone out and about with a nose highlight, I'm going to compliment them. But since I never leave my house, especially now, I don't really see a lot of people. So I don't think I've ever seen anyone wearing like a very obnoxious nose highlight in real life, but I'd love to see that because it would just make me so happy. The next thing on my list is something that I used to hate in the past. Okay, I didn't used to hate it, but it was never on my loves list. And this is glittery and colorful highlighters. I used to hate glittery highlighters, but ever since I discovered Bitter Lace Beauty, I've been kind of obsessed, because that is what all of their highlighters are. Okay, not all of them, but I will say that the highlighter that really got me into glittery highlighters is I think they're called the prismatic highlighters. Let me just take a look. Okay, so these are called the Kaleidoscope Glow. So they have 3 of these. I ordered 3 of these a long time ago, like a year ago, and it took me a while to really get into using them because I wasn't sure about the formula. But if I swatch this now, you will see it gets kind of wet looking, but it's also very glittery, especially on the face. You can really see the glitter in it. and it doesn't have much of a base pigment. And I think that's why I've started to really enjoy glittery highlighters, because if it doesn't have a base pigment, it can basically be whatever color it wants and still look good on basically every skin tone because it doesn't have a base to it. So it's really only going to be the glitters that are showing when you turn your face, and so it's going to be suitable for basically everybody. And I find that I can wear a blue highlighter and it still looks good. I can wear a green highlighter and it still looks good, whereas if you have some kind of a highlighter with more of a base pigment to it, if you put that into a color, it's just going to look like a streak on your face. But if you have a glittery highlighter, you can get away with so many different colors, and I just think that that is so fun, and it's such a fun way to like spice up a look that maybe needs a little something extra, or maybe a look that is already very intense that needs an intense highlighter. I find glitter highlighters to just be so fun, and I'm so happy that I'm like on board that train now. Next up on my list is something that I don't really see a lot of people do. I mean, obviously people do it, but I don't find that this is like anybody's go-to look. Whereas with me, I would say that especially when I'm not filming, this is totally my go-to eye look, and this is a colorful smoky eye. Basically what I do is I put a colorful shadow in my crease, and whatever color that is, I will find a shadow in a shimmer that's a little bit darker, put that all over my eye, put something in my inner corner, and that's basically it. Obviously just smoke it out under my eye as well, but I like to use just 3 shadows in a colorful smoky eye kind of way, and I find that to just be so easy, and it's so impactful, and you can do it with basically any color you please. You can have fun with your inner corners and still make like a unique look out of it. And what I like to do is I like to match my inner corner with my waterline, and that way there's just so many opportunities for making different kind of looks, but it's still so easy because you're using only 3 shadows. And it's one of my favorite things to do. Like I said, like if I'm traveling or something, if I'm in a rush, if I want to put on eyeshadow but I don't want to spend like half an hour doing so, I can put on a colorful smoky eye with basically any color that I want. It's always going to look good because it's so simple, and I just love it. And I don't see a lot of people doing it. Maybe it's because it's kind of boring for being on YouTube, and usually people on YouTube like to do more like specific tutorials that maybe are a little bit more technique based, whereas with a colorful smoky eye, it's like kind of simple. So it's not really that interesting to watch. I don't know, I just wish I saw more people rocking colorful smoky eyes. I just think it's such a great thing to just chuck on your eye and be out the door. It's so quick and easy, and it just looks so good. So another thing on my list that is not on my face today, like at all, this is a blown out low lash line. I used to be so scared to really blow out my colors under my eye because I thought it would look crazy, but I realized that it kind of balances out my looks because I have so much space in between. Like basically my hood of my eye is where the space under my brow is, and I feel like I have a lot of space from here to here, if that makes sense. And so I pull my shadows quite high up, so it makes sense for me to pull the shadows far down as well to kind of balance out. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I just feel like if I don't have enough shadow under my eyes, sometimes it just looks disproportionate. I know some people don't like putting shadow under their eye at all, and I totally understand why, especially if you're prone to watering eyes, which it happens to me sometimes, but for the most part I don't have very watery eyes unless I'm outside and it's windy and stuff. But if I'm just inside all day, it's not really an issue, so I can get away with doing that. And I just think that it makes my looks just come together more. And like I said, I used to be so scared of doing that, and when I thought I was blowing out my lower lash line, I would look back on camera and be like, man, I could have blown that out so much more. And I still don't feel like I really blow it out as much as I would like to. But it's something that I always try to be a little bit more heavy-handed under my eye than my brain tells me to, because otherwise I'll just be way too careful. And I just find that it looks better with my eyes and my eye looks. Also, the next thing is something that is definitely happening on my face now, and that is more unblended and graphic looks. I think I touched on this earlier in the video, but I just feel like it's very flattering for hooded eyes. I don't know what it is. I think that especially winged out eyeshadow looks look really good on me, and it's one of those things that my eyes just kind of want to do that. I don't know if you guys experience the same thing, but when you go in and you start applying your eyeshadow and you start blending things out, sometimes your brush just has certain places that it wants to go and that it wants to blend the eyeshadow out to, and for me, my brush kind of just wants to like wing things out. Like it just makes more sense for me, and it's just my arm does it on its own. Like I'm not even in control. I don't even know why that happens. It just happens all the time, and I'm not mad at it because like I said, I just find it to be very flattering on my eyes, and I also like the look of not super blended eye looks. I don't know what it is. Obviously I do blend, but I don't blend as much and I don't have as seamless of blends and gradients as a lot of people do, but I just like it that way. I think it looks good. I think it suits me. I think it suits my personality because I am not perfect and nor is my eye looks, and that is totally okay, and I really like that. The last thing on my list is something that I'm sure you guys have seen me do all the time, and this is colored inner corner highlights. And by that, I don't necessarily mean like very iridescent shadows with like a shift of something in it, but like I like having a color in my inner corner. I really like having a very light green in my inner corner, especially a yellow. A yellow inner corner is like my favorite thing in the world. And I remember when I was using the Jawbreaker palette to do my 10 looks with, I think I used that yellow in the palette in my inner corner basically in like every look I did, because I think it looks so cool, and it's something that I don't see a lot of people doing, and I wish more people did that. I love the trend that's been going on lately with like neon inner corner with a neon waterline. I think that looks amazing, and a neon inner corner highlight is just, it's just perfect. I just love it so much. And just colored inner corners in general, there are some colors that I find aren't as flattering as others, especially like pinks. I don't find pinks to be the most flattering inner corner shade, but other than that, like light blues, light yellows, light really anything. I just think it looks so fun and is such a fresh way to even spice up a neutral look. Like that would be one of the things I would say if someone asked me, how can I go from doing a neutral look to adding in more color? I would definitely say, try using a light color in your inner corner instead of a light champagne or something like that. Just go for like a light color instead and just see how it looks, because I feel like most people would look really good with that. I don't know. I'm also just a sucker for inner corner highlights in general, and it's one of my favorite things about doing my eye makeup is my inner corners. So yeah, let me know if you have anything that you love that you feel like everybody else hates. I would love to hear you guys' take on this, and also let me know if you want me to do the opposite of this, where, what would even the opposite of this be? I guess it would be trends that I hate that everybody else loves. Let me know if you want to see that, and I can probably do so, because I love me a good kind of ranty video. I don't know, there's something about that is just so satisfying for me to get all my thoughts out. If you want to see some other chatty videos that I've done, here's a few more, and if you're new, I would love it if you would consider subscribing, and I will see you in my next one.